Well, hello again, and welcome to Rolynn's Reviews. We got a day off from school today. Well, not really a day off, but we got to work from home today. So, wanted to share some information with you. Not going to be before you long, but some of the things that we were talking about, I told you I would share with you. And since I had a little extra time, I thought I would share this with you. Some of you may be familiar with Charlamagne the God, popular radio host, popular media personality, has a very popular show called The Breakfast Club. So, what have we been talking about with the last few videos in reference to people and their voting decisions? Don't listen to the puppets that have been placed before you, okay? Um, Anyone who has a brain and who can think rationally and can function in society, you don't need some puppet to tell you who to vote for. And so I thought this was very, very interesting. Um, so if you're familiar with the Breakfast Club, now I don't watch it because I don't like the narrative, but they are popular in certain segments of the population. Okay, so they have host DJ Envy, and then they have a Jess Hilarious, who is also a host, a new co-host. So what I wanted to share with you is that um, Charlamagne, and again, that he appears on the Daily Show. He also appears on Comedy Central with Trevor Noah. You may be familiar. I don't look at any of those shows, okay? But he has a podcast also with Andrew Schultz, all right, and called The Brilliant Idiot. So you may be familiar with that if you view those types of programs. But he's very well known in an urban space. He's a very popular person. He attracts political figures, okay, because of his demographic audience. Okay, so we already know, we talked about that on the channel. So he's invited to various galas and functions. Okay, so then in turn, he'll have these people on his show. So some of you may be familiar with an interview from 5/23/20 when he interviewed then candidate Biden. And he asked Biden, "What will you do for Black America?" Now, mind you, a president has to do for every segment of America, not just one group of people. If you go back and look at that interview, Biden really didn't want to answer questions. And then the now infamous quote, "If you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't Black." Now, to me, that's telling me, I thought we all were free to vote for who we wanted to vote for, but with that statement, it sounds like maybe not. So Charlamagne had his chance. He didn't say anything to then candidate Biden about that particular statement. Now, folks, let's be clear. Had that been a conservative candidate, the world would have ended. That probably would have broken the internet. But since it was Biden and is a Democrat, it was okay. So we know how influential, people can be. And there were no rebukes. More than 90% of people voted for Biden. Okay, so it was overlooked. We've already talked about why and the puppets. And during the interview, this is striking. I decided to go back and watch the interview again. And Biden said, the NAACP supports me. Look at my record on civil rights. Well, if you look at his record, it's actually not that great. So he says that knowing that most people who are busy and who are out working, they don't have time to go back and check. So whatever, I do. And so basically, he didn't come out and say it directly, but he was basically like, vote for me, stop asking questions. And you've heard me say that in previous interviews. It's vote blue no matter who. Folks, that's not going to cut it. Okay. So Charlamagne, of course, also he told his audience members, his subscribers, his followers to get behind Kamala Harris. Well, now he's having some real voter remorse. Okay. And he's actually becoming a thorn in the side of the Democratic Party. And he's now saying, Kamala Harris, once she, of course, once she got to the White House, she disappeared. Well, what did you expect? They get your votes and then you don't hear or see from them ever again until it's time to get back on the campaign trail. So there was an interview that Charlamagne did with Politico, and he's saying he feels burned by his support of Kamala Harris. Well, all you had to do was check her record. You were burned because you didn't do your research. Now he's saying he's learned from his lesson, and he actually has some of his followers, subscribers, fans, whatever you want to call them. Now, when they talk to him, they're upset. Like, you told us, to vote for Biden, to vote for Harris. And what can he say? He's there with egg on his face, said Kamala's not doing what she's supposed to be doing. And she's basically been out of sight. Okay. So he says he's learned his lesson, and he's saying that, he's going to make some different decisions in the future. But again, look at all the millions of people. This is why I say, don't listen to what other people tell you. So he's influenced millions of people to vote this way. Now he's disgusted with his choice. They're disgusted with their choice. Okay. Voters' remorse is real. And I have a little something for you to listen to as well. So I'll play that, and then I will go. But I just wanted to let you know that take your voting rights very seriously. Okay? So I will see if I can get this going, and then you tell me what you think.
Well, what do we have here? He should have immediately denounced Biden, the entire administration, Kamala Harris, Doug Emhoff, everybody. Let's go back. Then we're going to get into the update about him rebuking his prior endorsement. And if you want to see this clip in full without my commentary, link will always be in the box. If you're on IG, visit the link in the bio, go to the corresponding article on the website. But before we roll it, this is, again, from the 2020 campaign, May 23rd, 2020, right during the scandemic. Biden did the infamous basement campaigning. This was one of his stops, the Breakfast Club. Now, he's speaking specifically to Charlamagne. That's him right there on the left. There's no DJ Envy. There's no Angela Yee. There's nobody else but Charlamagne. And listen to what Joe Biden says to Charlamagne when asked the question about, hey, Biden, what will you do for the blacks? Check it out.
Listen, you got to come see us when you come to New York, VP Biden.
I will.
It's a long way until November. We got more questions.
You got more questions, but I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black.
It don't have nothing to do with Trump. It has to do with the fact I want something for my community. I would look.
Did you hear that? This was a crazy moment that I've played over and over and over again. If you watch me for any period of time, you probably heard that before. If this is your first time hearing it, what he said is, hey, if you're having a hard time figuring out whether you want to vote for me or Trump, then you ain't black. Basically, he said in so many words, if you don't vote for me, then you're not even black. Now, what gives this man the right to tell anybody that? It don't matter if you're black, white, Puerto Rican, Candy Stripe. What gives this man the right to say something like that and then get no rebuke and then still get 95% of the vote? Okay, we're talking about racism, all of that, and the third in the black community. Is it really a problem? Do we really care? I can't really tell, but I'm going to play a little bit more of this. Then we're going to get into the updated information about Charlamagne right here denouncing his decision to endorse Joe Biden.
Take a look at my record, man. I extended the voting rights 25 years. I have a record that is second to none. The NAACP's endorsed me every time I've run. The world, I mean, come on. Take a look at the record.
I've been critical.
It's like, yo, come on, man. Look, like, you don't gotta ask me no more questions. Because, okay, the context is, hey, we have more questions about the black community. What are you going to do? It's like, look, man, okay, if you don't know whether you want me or Trump, then you're not even black. Check my record out, man. The NAACP, they love me. I did this, I did that. Like, you're not going to ask me no more questions. Just vote for me and shut up. That's what I heard. Now, if you heard wrong, y'all let me know in the comments. But again, Charlamagne is right here receiving this. Okay, he's receiving this. So if you want to call someone a racist, why would it not be Joe Biden? Why would it be Trump? I've never heard Trump say anything close to that. But let's keep on going into the new information right here. And you see what it says on the headline. Charlamagne the God, a.k.a. Leonard McKelvey, that's his real name, Leonard McKelvey. Charlamagne taps out after Kamala Harris kind of disappeared. And to be clear, he was thinking about both of them. Biden and Harris, they got into the White House and she pretty much vanished. He regrets his decision to endorse the Biden administration. So let's read some of this. And the original article was on Politico. And by the way, that Politico article was really kind of weird the way it was written. They buried the lead. They didn't really get to the good part about him not wanting to support them anymore until way deep in the article. It was really flowery, unnecessary, guarding language. It was a really poorly written article. I could do better than that in 15 minutes. But anyway, a prominent black radio show personality reportedly feels, quote unquote, burned over his past support of Vice President Kamala Harris. Charlamagne the God, co-host of The Breakfast Club, who was born Leonard Larry McKelvey, spoke to Politico about his break with Harris after her nearly 3 years in the White House. Quote, I've learned my lesson from doing that. He told a news outlet. Once they got in the White House, she kind of disappeared. Charlamagne reportedly explained that he does not think the Biden administration has done enough to tackle mental health awareness, a topic that came up as he appeared on the campaign trail with Harris in 2019 when she's presidential candidate, and promote criminal justice reforms that include addressing marijuana offenses. When I give people my word, like, yo, man, I think we should be supporting Kamala Harris for vice president because she's going to hold it down. But okay, why is it even about Kamala? Why even mention Kamala at all? Because what power does she have as vice president? I mean, really, what power does Biden have as president? At this point, it's not even Biden running the show. It's the guy behind the scenes. Kamala Harris has never been a competent leader.
And we all know that already. But I just wanted to play a short, I didn't want to play the entire video, but I did want to share that with you. And I will share that below in the description box. So type your comments, your concerns, your questions that you may have in reference to this particular topic. And I hope to see you all again here on the Rolynn's Reviews YouTube channel, Sunday at 4:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.